I was listening to Malcolm Guite, who's a poet, and he was talking about, I think he was talking about another poet called Michael O'Sheill, talking about how sometimes poetry can jostle the soil of the imagination, can sort of awaken things. And Malcolm Guite talked about how maybe apologetics could sometimes do that, maybe imagination could do that. And I started to wonder whether that would also apply to some types of film experience and film viewing as well. And the idea here is that if you want to grow something, particularly after the winter or after a patch of earth has not been used for a while, it gets quite compacted. And so you have to do a couple of things. You have to get the weeds out, then you have to dig it over, and you have to get it, it can be quite sort of crunched down and quite compressed. So you get a fork or you get a rotavator and you open up the soil. And that breaks it down a bit more. But then you quite often need to go through and do a sort of sifting with an outdoor gardening metal sieve. And you sort of sieve out the sort of rocks and the other bits you haven't managed to pull out. And you end up with this lovely, fine, worked over soil that's just ready for a bit of moisture and for the seeds to come in. And the idea here is that film could function in the same sort of way, opening up the soil and the compressed hardness of our hearts, opening us up to human questions. What do I live for? What does my life mean? What's right? What's wrong? Is there meaning in life? Is there a God? What is the soul? What are we as human beings? What can we hope for? Is there truth? Can we ever know it? And maybe film could function alongside things like poetry to open up these really important human questions.